finally time to start working on the plywood, since we finished this shelving frame and hooked up the outdoor outlet. And once the paneling is on, we can start with the electrical installation. First things first, I'm gonna make a template, but I think I'm gonna spare the details and just throw on the time lapse. Well, template is done, so now let's get it onto the plywood and probably use pretty much every tool I've got to cut it out. Rough shape should be done now, so I'm going to use the transfer pins to get all the bolt locations onto the plywood so we can fix it up and then finalize the cutouts and all the kind of precision work. Well, looks like I completely messed up, so yeah, let me show you. Now back here around the wheelhouse cover and then this little edge, and yeah, the opening doesn't look too bad so far. Also it lines up quite well on top, but then if we go over here, I knew that the template was 55mm short, so I purposely laid it out with 55mm to the edge, but I still traced it because I don't know, didn't mark it correctly. So yeah, this piece is short now. It will work up here, I have enough material, but if we follow this thing, yeah, right around here, it starts to be too slim. So I'm thinking of joining another piece of plywood onto this edge with like a half lap joint, but I'm not sure if that'll work. The rest looks fine. Pipes line up. Down here it looks okay. The bolt does line up. I'm actually really happy about the wheelhouse. It's much better than over on this side. But yeah, this sucks big time. Let's see if we can fix it. Also, don't know what I smoked here. I gotta extend it much more out to this side. So here's what I came up with. I made this little half lap joint on both sides, and now once I clamp it together, that should pretty much go together without a gap. That's what it looks like, the cross section. I'm not sure if it's strong enough. Ideally I would have had a lip that was a bit bigger, but then I'd have to adjust the straight edge and couldn't just swap out bits, so yeah, I'd lose some accuracy there. So let's glue that up, and then I think it's already starting to get dark. So the fix had plenty of time to dry up, and I think it doesn't look too bad. After all, it's going to be kind of hidden behind the electrical stuff. So we can move on with cutting out the shape a little bit better so it'll fit, and then we can look for the bolt holes. Also, I gotta do the cutout for the little arm of the sliding door. I just transferred, line up perfect with the frame, so that's a good sign. But obviously I forgot to cut out more for the door thing, and yeah. Now have a look at the repaired edge. I mean, it's kind of visible, but I think that'll hold up just fine. Then on the edge, I think you can't even spot it. Now I gotta fit it in again, and I cut the little conduits because they were getting on my nerves, and I'm gonna cut them flush later on anyway. So I took out the pins that I could already transfer. So now the plan is to put the panel in, fasten it with all the bolts, and then router out this opening so that it will fit perfectly. And whilst I'm doing that, I just spotted that they're putting up a huge crane on a construction site pretty close, so let me show that. Now that sure made a big mess, but I think it's looking great. And once we've got the built-in shelving situation figured out, I think it's gonna look spectacular. So now let's get this finished up and ready for paint. Now after all the router work and countersinking all of the screw holes, it's time to get sanding. Now that was such a mess outside, all the wind blowing around the leaves, rainwater just splashed into the carport. So I made my way into the old wood shop, I got everything sanded, so now it's time to paint. weather's so weird today. I pulled into the garage because I thought it's gonna rain all day, but now it just stopped and it's full on sunshine, but I'm not gonna complain about that. I got a second coat on the plywood, so that is drying up, and in the meantime we can start with the insulation. And for that I have two sizes, 10mm for all the curved pieces and then the 19mm for all the straight ones. So once again, lots of measuring, cutting and getting the insulation up, and then hopefully by the end of the evening or latest tomorrow morning we can glue in the piece of plywood. So I've got the entire wall insulated now and everything we need for the glue up prepared. So two sizes of screws, some bolts, the drill, a wrench for the little grounding rod, and of course the panel. And I'm super happy with how it turned out. I didn't count it, but there has to be like 30 holes in there. And yeah, hopefully they all line up.